like, where do I start? Or, how much can I sell my home for? Or what's a common mistake, right? Just things like that serious home sellers would be thinking about. And then you say, by the way, if you like this video, you can grab my free home seller checklist. And so you're just sending everybody to the landing page to get the resource, okay? And again, this all runs now in autopilot. It's just set up one time, and then it's retargeting everybody who watched the first video. So pretty cool, right? And you're harnessing the rule of 7. And remarketing costs a lot less than the initial, let's say, ad. So you're actually spending less to get higher ROI. If you do not start creating a remarketing and retargeting sequence, okay, for your advertising starting today, you are leaving a lot of money on the table in terms of revenue commissions. But furthermore, you're also spending money that could be making you money back, but you're probably just not getting any results from something because you're not harnessing any kind of marketing that observes the rule of 7. Is you got to follow up with people 7 times on average for them to take action. Okay. And by the way, what's really cool about this is, and I want to point this out, you do not need people to opt in order to get on the retargeting cycle. They just need to watch your video and get pixeled. That's it. So very, very powerful. It's like an invisible funnel. Now, what we do after that to observe the economics, meaning how do we turn people into commission checks, right? How do we do that? Let's say that regardless of whether it's from this landing page sequence and this video, or whether it's from one of these retargeting videos, whichever direction it comes from, let's just say that somebody does opt in for the home seller checklist, PDF, or whatever it is that you're offering, okay? What you're going to then do is, regardless of whether they book the call here or not, so let's say they don't book the call right away. When somebody opts in, they are automatically added to your CRM. Okay, this is going to be your laptop or your computer, and that's your CRM, right? And I'm sure you already know, but there's just simple ways that you can use technology to where when somebody fills in the data here, their name, their email address is automatically added into your CRM so that you can then follow up with them, right? Now, here's what we learned. Remember what I said earlier? It is much easier to get people to consume helpful information than it is to get them to call you or text you back, right? Remember that. What we figured out is, yes, do an email follow-up sequence, but do not try to sell the prospect on talking to you or texting you, okay? So each one of these boxes represents an email, okay? What we found works really well is 15 emails over 15 days from when somebody becomes a lead initially, all right? So I've got 5 boxes up there, that's 5 emails, but there'll be 15. Now, here's what we've learned to do that is radically different and that works so much better than the typical approach that most agents are stuck doing. We have you create 2 landing pages, 2 simple landing pages, and then you record a short 10-minute presentation. Think of it as like a short webinar on maybe like one big thing that a homeowner needs to know about selling or about the local market, okay? Then you record another ScreenFlow video presentation, except this one is about 30 to 40 minutes long, and it's essentially an A through Z walkthrough of like what a homeowner needs to know to sell. So this is like a 10-minute little short thing, maybe talking about like what are the 3 biggest mistakes that homeowners make, right? Hey, if you're a homeowner here in this market and you're thinking about selling, here's 3 big mistakes that we see homeowners make all the time that cost a ton of money. Don't do this. And then you just give them the mistakes, right? This right here is like an A through Z guide, essentially, on like you're educating them and giving them like a master class on how to sell properly. Now, you might be wondering, why would you do that? Well, here's why. Below each one of these videos on these landing pages, yet again, you're going to have your calendar link. And with every one of these videos, at the end of the video, you then offer or invite them for an opportunity to book a phone call with you where you offer to give them more resources, more help. Now, here's the deal. If somebody takes the time to watch one of your 10-minute videos or one of your A through Z little recorded classes, you just gave them a bunch of value, right? So the ability for them to trust you that you're going to actually give them more value is much higher now. And now there's been a bit of a bond established. The know, like, trust sequence has been activated. Does that make sense? So instead of chasing after prospects, which is what most agents are doing all the time, right? We're using content to convert. This is why I said this is really, really big, right? It's much easier to get people to click. So it's a lot easier to send an email and say, yo, I just recorded a short 10-minute video that gives you the 3 biggest mistakes I see homeowners make here in this market that costs anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. You can just click the link right now and watch it. What do you think is going to work better? That email or, hey, my name is John and I saw that you filled out a form and I'd like to talk to you about selling your home. Call me, text me, email me. Well, you and I already know it's going to be the first email, right? That says, hey, basically every email that we do is selling the click, right? So in our emails, we don't sell engagement. We sell the click. We sell them on why they should click the link to watch the video. And then the way we do it is email 1 sends people to page A, right? Email 2 sends people to page B, email 3 back to A, email 4 back to B, so on and so forth. So for 15 emails, you just alternate 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's all automated. So as soon as somebody opts in right here, if they don't book a time to speak in your calendar, they're automatically added to your CRM, and now they're in a value-driven content funnel where you are educating them. In marketing circles, we call this EBM, education-based marketing. So you're not chasing, but you're using content to convert, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Now, let me make a little bit of room here because I am filling up this whiteboard and I got to make some room because I got to draw some other things to show you real quick, okay? So give me a second here. All right. Okay. What we found out is that to really drive the economics, meaning make money, right, as a real estate agent, you need listing appointments, right? If we're focusing on just listings. So let's say this right here is the listing appointment, right? But what needs to happen? What typically happens before an agent gets a listing appointment, right? So let's reverse engineer the process. That's what I did. I said, most of the time, and let's say this right here is a signed listing agreement, all right? So this is a signature on a signed listing agreement. Most signed listing agreements happen, right, after a listing appointment. I know some of y'all got relationships and things going on where you don't need listing appointments, but for the most part, 80 or 90% plus of signed listing agreements come from listing appointments, right? Okay, what happens before a listing appointment? What is the number one thing that typically happens that needs to happen in order for an agent to get a listing appointment? Well, most of the time, it's a phone call, right? Most signed listing agreements don't happen without a listing appointment. Most listing appointments don't happen without a phone call. That's typically the process, especially for cold prospects, right? Cold leads. Then come to find out that this has all been supported by data in the NARS, National Association of Realtors Annual Home Buyers and Sellers Trend Report. Here's what we learned from that. 75% of listings go to the first agent to have a meaningful connection and conversation with the prospect. So said differently, 3/4 of the pie goes to the first agent to be the first one to connect with the prospect meaningfully and serve them. Well, most agents are stuck chasing and selling because we're competing against everybody else. What we figured out is by using this internet marketer approach, it flips the script on all that, uses education-based marketing and content marketing to actually drive the conversion, to drive the engagement, right? So notice what we're doing and how kind of like clever it is, because it doesn't necessarily first maybe kind of like stand out. Right here, we're never selling them on us, we're selling them on the resource. Does that make sense? We're giving them a tool, right? Here, we're not asking them to contact us. We're selling them on the resource. And now we're showing them that we're really good at marketing, because now they see us everywhere on the internet, right? Every time they come back to Facebook or Instagram, they keep seeing us. Well, what's the best way to communicate to a homeowner that you know how to market their home? Well, it's that you know how to market yourself, right? And then once they opt in for the resource, we again are not trying to sell them on talking to us. We're simply selling them on, here's some super valuable, super helpful information, yours to take for free. But in that process, what's happening? They move closer and closer and closer to us, and they're engaging with us more and more and more, right? Now, if they watch this video, go to this page and book a call, great. If they opt in but don't book a call, they might watch these videos and then just finally opt in and then book a call. But if they opt in and don't book a call, period, you've still got a way to stay in front of them using valuable content and education instead of switching to chasing after them and bombarding them like most agents do. Okay? Now, here's what's absolutely ultra powerful. Two things that you really need to understand, okay? One, if you're not getting the listings that you want or the business that you want, this tool right here is easy to use then to figure out what's suffering. If you're getting traffic, so if you look at your ads or your engagement, you're like, hey, I'm getting traffic and I'm getting eyeballs, right? But I'm not getting any leads. Well, then you know the issue is somewhere in conversion, right? It's either on your landing page. You maybe need to test your landing page or your offer, or you need to test how you're doing your retargeting and remarketing, okay? But if you're, let's say, for example, you're getting traffic, you're also getting conversions to leads, but you're not getting economics. People are not booking phone calls. You're not getting the listing appointments you want. Something's not working on that part. Well, now you know, hey, focus all your effort on the economics quadrant, which is phone calls. That's why we focus everything in this marketing on phone calls, because 75% of listings go to the first agent that has a meaningful, in-depth connection with a homeowner. And for most of the time, a phone call has to happen before a listing appointment. And we need to get listing appointments so we can get signed listing agreements. So that's the first thing I want you to understand, is how modular this is and how easy it makes it to figure out if you're not getting the results that you want, you now are actually empowered to understand which quadrant of your business that's happening in. So then you know what to fix, where to work. And then the second thing that I want to point out to you is that this is the secret of internet marketers, is that there is an A through Z system, okay, that just runs on autopilot 24/7. So imagine you've got an ad or multiple ads running, right? And it's just flowing into here. You've got retargeting giving you the rule of 7, right? 5 to 15 follow-ups is what most agents say, because that comes from the rule of 7. That's happening automatically. People who opt in are automatically put now on your education-based marketing funnel, right? So now you don't have to do any manual work. That's the big thing, is that successful people who do, internet marketing, gurus, coaches, vendors, etc., they set up these automated A through Z systems that then just flow, right? They just flow. So yeah, you have to invest time to set this up, but it's one time. You set this up, but it's one time. You set this all up, but it's one time, right? And then after that, the amount of time that it takes to run this or manage it is super, super low. So this is how you get off of the hamster wheel or the roller coaster in real estate and being stuck having to try to drum up business all the time manually. Is you got to get an A through Z system that just simply works and flows. And this little quadrant here, the TCE triangle, has literally been one of my secret weapons for about 8-9 years now since it was taught to me by one of my coaches. It is absolutely brilliant, and it simplifies everything. Okay? So that's how the little $1 million triangle works. Okay. Now, there are 3 simple listing getting plays for launching this in the most effective way. Okay. The first one, I call it the top of mind play. Here's what I would do if I were you. And this is how I had Michael and Jeff both start. Gather up your entire sphere of influence into a spreadsheet, right? So just names, email addresses, and telephone numbers. It could be people from your CRM, your database, phone numbers from your phone, so on and so forth. Upload that spreadsheet into Facebook as a custom audience, okay? Record and promote a video to them for $1 to $5 a day, and you're going to accelerate your repeats and referrals like crazy, okay? There's a team in Arizona. They do 400 plus deals a year. Big business, right? And from all of the different marketing channels that they have, this specific play is still their number one source of business in terms of revenue at the end of the year. And they ironically only spend still $5 a day on it while spending a lot more on their other pillars. The reason why this one specific version of deploying what I'm talking about that Michael did, that Jeff did, that this team in Arizona does, the reason why it works so bloody well is because it puts you in front of everybody in your sphere and it keeps you top of mind. How many of you have had somebody in your database go on to transact with another agent or even a past client and you're just befuddled wondering how that could happen? Here's how. Out of sight, out of mind. And for most of us, the typical traditional email marketing we do with CRM marketing to stay in front of our sphere just doesn't work as well. With this approach, check it out. Anybody in your sphere of influence, if they just go onto Instagram or Facebook, boom, they see a video of you. So you stay top of mind, okay? And then what you do is you just record one video every 2 weeks and you just let it run on autopilot. So once every 2 weeks or twice a month, you record a new video. So it's a fresh video. And then you just take down the old one and run the new one. And literally just stay top of mind in front of everybody, your leads, your sphere, your ABC pile, anybody that you're connected with. This is absolutely incredible how easy it is, but then also how much money it makes for how little investment it requires of time. And by easy, I mean how little effort it requires if you know how to do it, and how little time, money you got to put in compared to other marketing strategies. Now, the second play is the big brother play. Post a video, like I talked about earlier, on your Facebook business page. Promote it as a video of you add to a 15-mile radius in your market because that's what Facebook forces now. But then use Facebook's big brother data to target potential home sellers. You probably already know this, but basically Facebook and Google dang near know when we fart, right? Like between all the data being collected, they know just about everything about us. Well, let's use that to our advantage. You can go into Facebook's ads manager tool and use it to target people that Facebook knows are interested in real estate. And then you just promote that video for $1 to $5 a day and just let it run, right? And now you've got an entire A through Z system built out and running on autopilot. So what do I mean by that is you've got that video, promote it using Facebook's algorithm to people it knows are interested in real estate, let it run. Some will go here and opt in. If they don't, no worries. A through Z, baby. Now you're retargeting them. You've got the rule of sevens on your side. Some more will opt in. Some will book a call. Those that don't, great. Now they're on your CRM. Rule of sevens again. Now you're going to follow up 15 times in 15 days. Oh, and you're not going to chase and pressure. You're just going to offer more value. They're going to get that value, and then you're going to say, you want more good stuff and value? Some will say yes. Booked phone calls. Book phone calls means more listing appointments. More listing appointments means more signed listing agreements. I know, rocket science. That's how I've broken it down, and that's how I think about it, okay? So that's the big brother play, is just use the data that all these big giants like Facebook and Google collect on us to actually reach our potential home sellers. And the third play is the niche expert play. All right. So what you do here is you post a video just like before on your Facebook business page, but now instead upload a custom audience of data, meaning email addresses and telephone numbers, from either a niche you're interested in or the contact information for homeowners in a neighborhood. Okay. And then you promote a video to them for just $1 to $5 a day, right? And you make that video specifically for them and what's relevant for them, and you let that run on autopilot. So let me break that down just a little bit more. Let me make a little room here. So imagine that you're interested in a niche called investors, right? Some of you might be working with investors. Well, you basically gather up a list of email addresses and telephone numbers for investors, right? Put them all into a spreadsheet, upload that into Facebook. Now then you record a video that specifically talks to real estate investors, right? And what you can do for them. Offer investors a resource that you know is good for investors, maybe like a list of hot deals every week, right? And then you promote this video to just this list of investors. If they don't opt in, guess what? If they watch the video, boom, you've got 2 or 3 more retargeting videos that are helpful to investors, right? Promoting the same resource. Now, some of them will opt in from that. A lot more will opt in from this, right, than from the first ad. Some of them will book a call, some of them won't. If they don't, no problem. Now you're getting 15 emails in 15 days from you about how you can help them as an investor. And you're just going to send them to 1 of 2 videos that explains the same dang thing. Right? Do you see the power of this and like how the internet marketing side of this works? This is what internet marketers do all the time, is they build out these automated like convert content funnels, and they let the content convert. They don't actually do pressure selling. Imagine doing this for a neighborhood. So let's say you've got a neighborhood, a farm of 5,000 homes you're really interested in, right? Let's say this is the farm. These are all the people that live in the farm. Well, just go get all their email addresses and their telephone numbers into a spreadsheet, okay? And then take that spreadsheet, load it up into Facebook as a custom audience, then record a video that speaks specifically to them. I would recommend you record the video walking through that neighborhood so they actually see you in their neighborhood, right? That creates we have agents do that. That creates ridiculously good engagement. So say, hey, if you live here in sunny Glen Oaks, right? So you just really talk to them like you're their neighbor. The engagement on that is incredible. And just promote that to them for $1 to $5 a day. Who do you think is going to be top of mind and the best known agent the fastest? Remember what I said earlier. Where was it? The best known agent, right, is always the richest agent in any market. But it's really hard to become the best known agent in an entire 30, 40 mile radius, right? Because that would just take a massive amount of money. But you could become the best known agent for 5, 10, 20,000 homeowners in different farms, because you could reach all of them and absolutely dominate mind share for $1 to $10 a day. Do you get what I'm saying? Because nobody's going to be getting that much engagement and impressions with these homeowners as you. So all the bigger agents with the big budgets, they're spraying and praying at the 20, 30 mile radius. But you can become the absolutely best known agent by leveraging a narrower market and then putting just $1 to $5 to $10 a day on it. They're going to see you a lot more. Then they're going to get retargeting from you, right? Then they're going to get more value from you. So you just by default become the best known agent regardless of who your competition is. And you can do it for pennies on the dollar compared to what something like Zillow Premier or any of those other more expensive monthly services and lead generator platforms cost. Does that make sense? So the top of mind play, right? The big brother play and the niche expert play are 3 of the best plays that I can tell you to roll out that worked really. And that's exactly how I had Michael Smith start. Okay. He generated over $76,000 in commissions. And then that's how Jeff Smith started, over $32,000 in commissions. Okay. Now, I got a question for you.